Some reactions coming in to Donald Trump's implication or threat or prediction of death and destruction. Some of them founded, I think, in a pretty good analysis of the legal consequences, as well as some incredibly cowardly responses from Republicans that are hilarious. So stay tuned for that. First of all, you have legal analyst for CNN, Norm Eisen, who said threatening a prosecutor is a crime in New York. In fact, it's multiple crimes: harassment in the first degree, menacing in the second degree, stalking in the third or fourth degree, and that's just for starters. I'm not a lawyer. Don't sue anyone based on what you read in a tweet, but potentially that could be something. He did take it down, the tweet that they're referencing there. No word yet on how long a social media post needs to be live to trigger the law, but he is powerful, so probably a long time.
He's threatening the same prosecutor who doesn't have the fortitude to charge him on a clear crime that his co-conspirator already spent 3 years in prison for. He could threaten to put a gun to his head, and there's no way Alvin Bragg would charge him. He knows Democrats are cowards. He could do anything he wants.
I think if that post was up for another 10, 15 minutes, I think they would have gotten him. Yeah. So then you have, so I know he works for CNN. He's fake news, I guess, from the point of view of Trump. You don't have to listen to him. But law professor Jonathan Turley from GWU, who actually testified in Trump's defense during his first impeachment, had this to say. Former President Trump is back in all caps denouncing the Bragg investigation. He is right to object to the case as a political prosecution, but he added an inflammatory ending to his latest all caps posting. Trump declared that Bragg is carrying out the plans of a radical left lunatics. Our country is being destroyed as they tell us to be peaceful. And then Jonathan Turley adds, neither side should need to be told to be peaceful. Given the violence of January 6th and riots in various cities, our leaders have to avoid reckless rhetoric. Being peaceful is not just a legal obligation, but a civic duty of citizens. And again, this is a lawyer who testified in defense of Donald Trump and has even just in that post referenced this as being a political prosecution, which is certainly an opinion.
Yeah, Jonathan Turley is deciding to be dumb. Because he's not dumb. He's an incredibly bright guy, and he was an interesting lawyer and had some good critique of the Bush administration, right? But he's doing this act of like, oh golly gee, is Trump potentially violent? Oh, this is the first instance of it, and I am just aghast. This is such a big surprise to me. Jonathan, get off of it. I don't know why you became a weirdo right winger, but please stop pretending and ruining your reputation as a decent legal mind. You just discovered that Donald Trump might be threatening people? Get the out of here. Sorry, John.
It's even more direct than the language he's using in anticipation of January 6th. But I wanted to add this because obviously this is another opportunity for us to play the game that reporters always have to play with prominent Republicans. Can we get you to admit that you saw the crazy thing he said? So Sahil Kapoor posted, asked Jim Jordan what he makes of Trump's warning about potential death and destruction if indicted. Jordan said he hasn't seen Trump's post. When I showed it to him on my phone, he said he can't read well without his glasses. He added he's reviewing DA Bragg's letter. No word on how he's gonna read it since he doesn't have his glasses. I mean, look, obviously refusing to opine on a threat to mass political violence is not nearly as bad as calling for it, but they're not even trying to pretend. Like that's basically spitting in the face of people who are worried about people being killed if he's indicted right there.
No, I mean, it is fascinating to me that the entire legal establishment has been completely unsuccessful up to this point because of what they would say is like, oh, this is a very difficult prosecution. It's gonna be hard to hammer Trump on X, Y, and Z. When the reality is that there is a set of norms, structures, and history going back to Richard Nixon and Ford saying, well, it's in the interest of healing that we don't pursue any charges against Nixon. Same thing with Bush. Nancy Pelosi did not move forward with impeachment over the war crimes that he committed in Iraq and torture, etc., in the war on terror. You know, it's just we got to be a little bit hands off on that because our structures in our government and in like the ruling establishment, they all incentivize going after people on the bottom of the ladder in like the 99%, frankly, in the country, but particularly poor people, and maintaining powerful people's insulation from any kind of actual consequences. And even guys like Trump, who is widely loathed by a lot of the more buttoned up wealthy people or powerful people in Washington, there are still so many hurdles to actually holding him accountable, because not holding powerful people accountable is as American as apple pie, unfortunately, even though we like to venerate our founding fathers. That's the reality of the United States.
Yeah, so let me agree 200% with them on that. Obama let Bush off on every crime, Cheney, etc. And what happened? Mainstream media kissed his ass on the left side, the right side, all over the place. Oh, what a great American! Oh, he let the elites go. Yes, Obama. Yes, you never punish the elites, right? So, did you see any criticism from MSNBC on that? Of course not. This whole structure of media and politics is designed to protect the elites. And to her earlier point about the biggest crimes, he orchestrated a fake elector scheme to do a coup. And we have no charges on that. Now, the Democrats are the worst. They're almost in cahoots with the fascists, because you need someone to be pathetically weak so that the fascists can win. And the Democrats are like, me, I'll do it. Merrick Garland, Alvin Bragg, Joe Biden, I'll do Nancy Pelosi, I'll do it, I'll be incredibly weak. Biden and Pelosi go out there, oh, we hope that the Republicans are super strong, so strong. And Merrick Garland and Alvin Bragg are like, we're not charging anything yet, please, I'm begging you, we're not charging anything. Okay, get out of here. He tried to do a coup, you morons. You're just gonna let him walk right into it. So, okay, and right now Biden would lose to Trump. I mean, they're so pathetic. Okay, so I did a tweet on social media, last thing. And I said, hey, MAGA guys, you tell me. I mean, the guy's clear, he's calling for death and destruction. There's no ambiguity about his violence. So whenever people do violence on our side, we say on the Young Turks all the time, don't ever do that. It's an admission of defeat, it's terrible. You should never do it, it's immoral, etc. So are you guys okay with it? Like, what's your views on violence, right? Dozens of them. Not one of them said we shouldn't be violent. Okay, I'll read you 3 randos as an example and representative. As a MAGA fanatic, we're at war with unholy people. It is what it is. Can you define violence?
Yeah.
Yeah, killing people, attacking people, punching people, ripping police down and then dragging down a flight of stairs, knocking them unconscious. Do you need me to keep going? Okay, and then last one is, left does violence all the time and it's crickets from you. You get what you asked for. This is their classic excuse. Like, they just make up a straw man that the left likes violence. And so, oh yeah, I saw Black Lives Matter people. I saw a couple of fires, you guys loved it. Did we? You have any of us on tape saying, oh, we love the violence, we love right? No, you don't have any of that. You just go, oh yeah, the left liked it, so we did even more violence. Yep. No, you like the violence. So, all right, look, if you're a Republican, guys, look, if you're a Republican, and I get this all the time, right? You say, oh, we're super unfair to you. Then why don't you just say, like, here, again, always the simple example. If Bernie said, hey, listen, if they don't do Medicare for all, I want death and destruction in the streets. I'd be like, no. I mean, I want Medicare for all really, really badly, but no, weirdo, why would you say that, right? It'd be so easy because we're not sycophants. We're not up his ass, okay? But you guys are like, oh, Donald Trump. Okay, so just say it's such a simple thing. I love Trump, but this call for violence is absurd. It's dangerous, it's wrong. I still love him and I'm gonna vote for him over Sleepy Joe. But come on, Donald, don't do the violence, don't call for the violence. Easiest thing in the world. I'm asking you to clear the smallest, lowest bar in human history. It's 1 atom above the ground, and they won't do it. No. So Republicans, show me, prove me wrong. I haven't seen, other than the establishment Republicans in MAGA world, like the Cernoviches, everybody at Daily Wire, I don't know. I haven't seen people like, oh my God, this is outrageous, this is wrong. This is slightly wrong. Nothing. Prove me wrong, you won't.
Yeah.
Well, it's incompatible with the right wing. I mean, the right wing engenders violence. That is known throughout history, and like what we experience right now. And just really quickly, I know we have to wrap, but in Bolivia, there was a right wing coup attempt. Janine Áñez attempted to overthrow the democratically elected government there. in Bolivia, and you know what they did? They ended up actually prosecuting her and bringing charges against her. That's how a functioning society works. The United States isn't even close to that, and he's gonna get away with it, as you predict, Cenk, and I predict the same thing. And then probably gonna be winning the Republican primary in a year.
Yeah, and probably in no small part because of this story that we're talking about. He understands better than Ron DeSantis that they desperately want this. They've been trained, it's what QAnon was for, is to utterly dehumanize the other side. The other side are literally Satanists. They worship the devil, they wanna eat your child, have sex with your child, whatever. You don't need to have any consideration for them. And I'm going to tell you the ones that you're now allowed to brutalize, to kill, or at least wish to see killed. And he gets that better than Ron DeSantis. He has that through line directly to their spirit.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.